not the meaning of the word Anupasarika. So next is uh, so this I had to clarify. This Anupasarika Shikshanam was envisioned by great stalwarts and leaders after that 1834 effect which Vemuri Garu said. Vemuri Garu said the education system in Bharata, it changed little bit from the Gurukula type education to the modern system. That is what he read out that statement. Now to bring back to that, see the change took place. Now to bring back that original system, you had to have a support system. So the scholars in those days, in 1830s or those days, all the Shastra Vidwans, people who were doing Shastra as per that model, or Granthadyanam, or who are doing all the reading and composing poems and all these things, they were all supported by the kings. So when the kings and other that entire system, the legal, the political system, when it changed, who had to support this? The only people who came forward or who wanted to do that were the Mats and certain Hindu organizations, etc., who thought that it is our duty to support Sanskritam and Sanatana Dharma, because supporting Sanskritam and bringing back this was our duty. Which is where we have the Chittur Sabha, which was established in 1945, and it had its own series. Even today, there are 6 levels of exams, and it is incremental increase. Today, if you want to do a deep dive study of Sanskritam, the Chittur Sabha gives the maximum impact. And you have great Mahamahopadhyayas who came later and designed the syllabus in 1960s. Originally, there was a syllabus, and then that syllabus is being followed. Today, we have classes in Vyoma for that. I will talk about how we are trying to rejuvenate all this. Then you have the Bharati Vidya Bhavan. The originally Bharati Vidya Bhavan was established as an organization before only, but the Sarada Samskrita series, they came in around 1961, where they established the Sarada Samskrita exams and they did this one. Then you have the Ucha Pariksha also, which nobody is taking, but there is one place in Mumbai which is conducting that thing. Then we have our Sringeri Mat, Sura Saraswati Sabha, our visionary Swamiji, Abhinav Vidyartha Mahaswami, who established the Sura Saraswati Sabha, and Mahamahopadhyaya Ranjanath Sharma, who is our Parama Guru. He has, in those days, they were the greatest Vidwans available. With the help of those Vidwans, they framed the 5 level graded Samskrita exams. Same way was done by S.V. Radhakrishna Shastri. He was an Ayurvedic Vidwan in Tamil Nadu. He also framed those exams. And then we have Samskrita Bharati, which started in 1979 officially, but 1981 is given. And they have done the exams now, which mostly in the America, there are a lot of people taking those exams. Now these are the Anupacharika Shikshanam. Whatever you are doing for your living or whatever, you can take these exams. Pradhana, we have taken major ones. We have one in Nagpur, we have one in Lucknow, we have one in Kashi, it's purely in Hindi medium. So these other sabhas are also there, but these sabhas have been established by stalwarts and these are more prominent. So with this, these sabhas, where do we use these sabhas in this model? That is the question. Now these sabhas, whatever they have only for this level. Because they wanted to give the entry, Bhasha Adhyanam, so that you become proficient. For example, the Samskrita Bharati exam they started Pravesha, Parichaya, Shiksha, Kovida. These 4 levels. Sringeri has 5 levels. And our Guru, Jagat Guru, he has named the last level as Pravesha. Just an example of Sringeri's way of thinking. It is the last level of your Sarada Samskrita series is called Pravesha, which means you are doing the Shastra Pravesha or you are doing the real learning after you do the last exam. So these are some of the, I can talk hours on these exams and other things, but these are the options which are available for Bhasha. Now in America, what we can do? Sir, all this is in India. Are all these options available in the America? Now in America, if you are taking the Sringeri exams, now Sringeri, when Padma Shri Gauri Shankar Mahodaya was there, he initiated this Sura Saraswati Sabha online website. So based on that, these exams can be taken today online. First two levels. The third level is being scrutinized. A new textbook is going to come. So Jagadguru is the new Sannidhana or Sannidhanam Garu is reviewing that book. So probably by August we will start the third level. Fourth and fifth already it is there. So for which the online thing is yet to come, because there is a series of people whom we are working with, and this will come slowly. Samskrita Bharati, you have four exams, and in America you have centers where you can go and write Samskrita Bharati exams, all the four. This also can be written online from home. Chittor, you have to be in India. Your address, you should have an Indian address to do it. What this Bharat India one also it is like that. But we are trying to see if we can establish a center first in Austin under Venkat Garu's leadership, because Bharat India one have got a unique method. One is the translation method. That is, you can say why translation is required. That is a British method and all those things. It has its own plus and minuses. But they have a Bhagavad Gita series exams, which you can write these exams in Telugu, in Tamil, in whatever regional language, and you can go for it. So we are trying to establish a center in Austin under his leadership. We are trying to write to them and see if it can be established formally. That is what we are trying. This again, this is in India. I don't think so we'll be able to do it in America, but we have to write to them. Samskrita Bharati is already existing. So, but if you want the degree, then the certificate from these sabhas, then definitely you need to write the exams in India, wherever there is no American option or online option. But if you don't want the degree, I want the knowledge in the book, then we have Vyoma's website, Sanskrit from Home. Then we have Vyoma's website, Sanskrit from Home, which is conducting classes for all these parikshas. So even Sringeri Jagadguru, initially Sringeri Jagadguru's only point was, how do we increase the number of students for these exams? That was his point. Then same thing was Chittur Sabha. They had very less numbers, and the textbooks are very old, not even attractive. These kind of children will not even touch that book, because it doesn't have pictures, it doesn't have all those things. So we had to make it attractive. So we had to bring all this online, and that is where Vyoma played a role. We said we will not be starting our own series of Bhasha Adhyanam, but we will support all these sabhas such that the stalwarts and the visionaries who have established these sabhas, the same courses with the same textbook and curriculum will conduct, and we'll ensure that numbers increase for them, because afterwards we won't give a certificate here. If they want a certificate, they have to write the exam in that sabha only. That way, numbers also increase because it is online learning and it is at the comfort of our home. At the same time, you get the certificate from those organizations. This was one win-win situation for all of us in the ecosystem of Sanskritam. That is where this Anopacharika Sanskrit system is working for some of the things. The numbers for Sringeri exams and these exams, this Radha Krishna Shastri exams, they were not all being taken. He has done 11 levels of textbooks and all, but mostly it is in Tamil after the fifth level. So, which is where this one, it is not universal, etc. But still, we are trying to make classes there, doing it. So now comes the most important thing. How do I, which one I should take, sir? Do I need to do all these sabhas? No, you have to select your route based on this POPT model. This name and all, etc. I am not a good person in naming and all those things. Our Vishwanathan, he gives all these names. So this is called persona, objective, proficiency, time availability. Is it right? So POPT, persona, objective, proficiency, and time availability. What is the current level of proficiency you already have? Suppose you are already doing good in Ramayanam. You are already reading Ramayanam in Tamil and Telugu. Now you want to increase your proficiency. How to do it? Language proficiency. The way persona is what persona you belong to. We have 7 personas: the children persona, then we have the college persona, then we have the homemakers and professionals, then we have the senior citizens, then we have the special children. This is an interesting persona. The special children like autism, Down syndrome, people who have this challenges with respect to learning. So these kind of people also, if Samskrita shlokas are taught, or in a way, if you try to teach them, it becomes a therapy for them. So this, I think, all our doctors can go for the same. So we have a method of treating. We have some chanting courses for them. Based on that, their mind gets calm. They become calmer, so that the medicine that they take works on them. So we have to see how to work on this. So we are working on some projects. We have one Down syndrome child in our office itself. I think he has visited our office. Padmasini Garu, who is my incidentally a mathematics teacher in MES college, who taught me mathematics, trigonometry, calculus, everything I learned.
I'm your Vyoma student. You know that. That is, everybody should know that I actually connected to you through Sanskrit.
Correct. So she has seen our office and she has seen that person. So we are trying to see do some research. We are collecting some data. We want to see if we can publish a paper on special children's, wherein we can prove that Sanskrit has got some therapeutic. We would request the help of doctors like Archana ji and Ravi ji to validate this research and these studies, so that we can the world will believe a doctor rather than a Sanskrit scholar. So these are some of the things that we are doing. So in this site, we have something called Create Your Own Learning Path. So if you go to sanskritfromhome.org, you go to Can you help me create my learning path? This is something we have created where all these courses are there. You just say, I want to. So if you have, I want to know Shankara Bhashyam, that may be one of the 35 thing. It is now, we have gone and spoken to many people and say, what is your objective of learning Sanskrit? What is your objective? What is your objective? What is the children? What may be the children's objective? What may be the parents' objective? So like this, we have mapped all those objectives and put it there. So if you select the objective and your current mm, uh, proficiency, current level of proficiency, or you say I don't know anything, then it will give you a test. So if you take some small major, it will be in English only. So when you take the test, it will say, okay, you have to go to the basic level, you have to go to the intermediate level. You can start from here. That small path can be generated. Later we can discuss that path if it is not matching. It is at the back end. We have a database where we are doing this, but we want to make this AI enabled so that when the person gives this, then it can be some artificial intelligence things can be put inside this. And we are also many times the exercise that we do in Vyoma, most of the calls that I get are not which course probably which course should I join, or how should I proceed with Sanskrit. Now this is where I am stuck. Please help me. So these are the calls I normally answer, and I believe that that kind of a counseling is required because of the number of options available today, especially because of technology availability, both the residential options and the options from the online. So this is one. Then if you want to choose a course, that you can always choose what you want to learn. Well, you want to learn Kavya, you can just type Kavya there and you will get all the Kavyas in this site. So, but this is the thing that we are trying. We are trying to improve this also. If you do not get the path that you think is right for you, please write to us. We will see what is the mistake in the. And it is in a beta testing mode. So we have tried this with some people. It has worked. This is to automate it. So this is about your customizing this learning path for you. But we let us take a case study. But how are we doing this exercise? There is a science behind this exercise. The science behind this exercise is, as he said, there are 7 skills. The pronunciation is given high importance. Suppose somebody is not telling that I am not learned Sanskrit, but I am chanting Vedas. Still, he is in this sea. He's already completed this sea, please. So you cannot say that I don't know Sanskrit. You are already having the Pada Parichaya of how many millions of words you are chanting. So that is where we are saying, even the Vedic scholars, there are people who are learning Vedas without knowing the meaning Sanskrit language also. There are mothers and homemakers who are chanting Saundar Laharis, Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita Sahasranama without knowing the meaning, with lot of bhakti and devotion. They also come under the sea. They already know the sea. Now comes what is that? So you have these all these things. I think he has explained. This C, the last C, which is the compose, comprehend and compose. We have met more people in the US. In the Austin, we have a group. He has a group where a lot of children they have started composing shlokas based on the way they want to take their path. If you ask why do you want to study Sanskrit, he says, I want to express my bhakti just like how Kalidasa has expressed in the first shloka of Abhigyana Shakuntala, or just like somebody who has expressed some shloka, Nilakanta Dikshita has expressed, I want to express my bhakti, can I compose? So there is one person, one student like Varun, he's just started Safal and he's just doing 2 3 weeks. He started composing shlokas, being guided by Mahamahopadhyaya, Dorbala Prabhakar Sharma. Like that, we have children who are, and they are all inspired by our Lalit Ganavan, who is with our Mahasanidhanam and Sanidhanam here. And he is a person who has become an Avadhana. I think in Andhra, we should thank Andhra for this Avadhana Kala. Not only in the regional language Telugu, but also there are so many Avadhanis in Andhra. They have mastered this art of composing poetry and doing this. So this compositions you see, it requires a different skill, uh, mm, and it requires the kosha adhyana, the adhyana of the Abara kosha, all these things. So we have only two organizations doing Ashtadhyaya and Amar Kosha. One is Agastya Gurukulam and the other one is Vyoma, where we are teaching Ashtadhyayi at an young age, or people like Shashi, she is also learned Ashtadhyayi, all the 8 Adhyayas, she is here. She is a NASA scientist who is sitting here and she has learned Ashtadhyayi. So like this, we have these skills, which is very important. So we have something called the funnel concept. From where do you start? Let us take the example of these children. From where did they start learning? They are speaking in Sanskrit today. They don't have a formal structure of this learning path and all was not given to them. The mother started coaching them. The first thing was they started with short-term courses. They started with Bhagavad Gita, learning small shlokas. Short-term courses which are less than a week. So we have short-term courses for online for bringing the small children into the fold, which is probably 5 days. And Aditya Hridayam 32 shlokas or some less than that. These kind of shlokas are there where you are given that pronunciation. We have one book called Nitya Prarthana where only 50 shlokas are there, which is just small shlokas, Karagre Vasate, all these things. So these short-term courses, then we conduct a camp where we say get yourself involved for more than a week, 2 3 weeks, and we conduct that course continuously with Saturday, Sunday breaks, of course. Then we have the immersive course where 3 months, 4 months we do weekly intervention, and then this may be a course on, say, an example, huh? Vocabulary builder, or it can be a level 1 Sanskrit where we start telling the vibhaktis and we start teaching them spoken Sanskrit. All these things are done. Then we have a focused Gurukulam type of an online. Ours is only online. We don't have a face-to-face program. Most of it is online, and that is also the interventions because it's an after-school program or something. We have this Vyoma Sanatana Vidya Pathshala where 3 years we guide them through Sanskritam, then Sanskriti, Samskara, where we have shlokas, bhajans, why we do what we do. These questions we have to answer the children because they keep on asking these questions. Then we have some activities, games, etc. We also have the Geetam, Sanskrita Geetam, etc. that we have. So these are some of the this we have a curriculum and we have a structure. We have some teachers doing this. These are online. So like this, we have built the funnel for that. Now, if we take a case study of working professionals, say, who want to do Vyakarana, so what we would say first, if he has not done any Sanskrit, they have to study some Sabha exams in the Anupacharika side. I'm mostly dealing with Anupacharika because most of us are that. Aupacharika Shikshana, you can go to a Rashtriya Sanskrit Sansthan in India and study, or if you have something like that in the US, you can take like Agastya Gurukulam. You can start depending on what you want to do and when you are starting. So if you for children, Agastya Gurukulam have got they have a program up to the 8th grade. After that, they have a after school program and a residential program. Like this, I will request Archana ji to talk about it. Then, so these are this Vyakarana. So they have to finish these Sabha exams, the full 4 or 5 levels. Then only if they enter Vyakarana Shastra, they will understand what it is. Then they go to a text-based study. For Vyakarana, the text is Ashtadhyayi and Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi. Long-term courses are Laghu Kaumudi or some other. Our acharyas have given 2 routes. One is you can go from the Ashtadhyayi route in a Ashtadhyayi Krama, or you can go from the way the texts have been designed. That is how you can do. That is more of Shastric related. Based on that, we can take this. Now, why I am telling this is, even if you want to do a Shankara Bhashya, this is a very important point. Even if you want to do Shankara Bhashya, you should have some exposure to Vyakarana when you do a Shankara Bhashya, because the grammar is important. You cannot say Shankaracharya only has said nahi nahi rakshati dukrin karane, I will not study this and all. That's a different connotation for different kinds of people at what age he has told. You cannot suddenly take that interpretation and say Vyakarana is useless, and you can say, okay, I will only do my Vedantic study. Okay, that depends on your perspective. But without knowing Vyakarana, if you touch Shankara Bhasha, you will not understand why the sentence is like that, why he is telling like this. Alright. So, Prathame Vidvamso Vayyakarana. That is what is the statement. For any further textual study, Shastric study, you need to have Vyakarana basis and a Nyaya, the logics. Look at there. Kanadam Paniniyam Sarva Shastropa. The Paninian Shastra, grammar is based on Paninian, and the Kanadam is the Nyaya Shastra. They are like tools to understand the other Shastras, which is why you require that course. And then based on your time availability, you can, if you want to do a masters in Vyakarana, then you can continue. If you want to teach Vyakarana to others, then you have to further read a set of textbooks as per the Vyakarana Shastra. So again, in Vedanta, you have Prakarana. I'll just give you an example. Prakarana text. Shankaracharya has written shlokas like Dakshinamurti Stotra. Then you have the Viveka Chudamani. So these kind of texts are Prakarana texts, where they will explain the concept of Advaita philosophy. What is Jiva, what is Ishvara and Jagat, and how that Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, how they are transacting in the world. That is Prakarana. Then you get into the Prasthanatraya, which is Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad and Brahma Sutra. Then after that you get further texts, Naishkarmya Siddhi, Sureshwaracharya, all these people who have written different texts, which if you have time, you can enter into those texts. But there is a 3-tier structure for Advaita Vedanta. Same way you have the structure. First is the base text, which is Ashtadhyayi. Then you get into the next level text, which gives you the meaning of the Ashtadhyayi. Then you get into philosophical explanation. All these Shastras, the objective of all these Shastras is moksha. So moksha is not salvation, is what our professor explained just now. So moksha, all of us know what is moksha. So when we, so if you are learning the Ashtadhyayi Sutras, it is at the mathematical level. Just to be very simple, you are learning mathematical equations and derivations. If you are learning the meanings and why it came there, you are learning the physics part of it. If you are learning the the philosophy behind that, you are learning the darshana, wherein you treat a shabda as a brahma vastu, and it is shabda brahma upasana. And just like you have nada upasana in music, you have shabda brahma upasana in vyakarana. So that is how you have a 3-tier structure there. The same Advaita Vedanta 3-tier structure you have for this. Same way for Nyaya you have for all these Shastras. I just gave an example. So this we have to have this structure and we have to proceed. Suppose let us take one simple example. All being Sanatana Dharmis, all of us, we all want to know what is there in the Bhagavad Gita. I just so all these tiers and all these things you are telling is very complex for us. You tell us, how do I study Bhagavad Gita? Simple example. You are asking this question. This because that is one grantha which I want to understand. Because I have heard that it is a universal text. It is not a ritualistic text. Why should I learn? Already he has covered. How should I learn? The first thing, as we already said, we have to know the moolam, the C part of it, the chanting. We should know how to chant. If we are at a level where we can memorize, then it is great. If you cannot memorize, at least you should know to read. You should be a fluent reader. He has a word for that. He has in Austin, I don't know how many, probably in the past 5 years, they have a Gita group like this. I think they have in the whole of US. They have created 5,000 fluent readers, more than that, and 10,000, huh? More than 10,000 fluent readers, and probably they have created 1,000 people who did the across US who have memorized the US, and Sahasragala Parayana happened in Dallas, I think, last year. We all witnessed that event. It went into the Guinness World of Records. So, a structured learning of Gita shlokas through Moolam only. First Moolam only we learn. That's the first thing, which is what all organizations are doing. They are concentrating on Moolam and they are trying to do the Moolam. Next, you come before you get into the meaning of the shlokas, you should know bit of Sanskritam, which is what he explained in how to decode the meaning of a shloka. Shata Shlokena Pandita. He said, learn the split, learn all those things. There is a structure for that, for which you have to learn little bit of the language. You may not learn Vyakarana to the how much ever you want, but at least to level of splitting the word and knowing certain things. We should know where the Dirga is coming, where even in singing music and all, we should not simply elaborate just because the raga is there or this one. So we should be very careful there. So which is why we need to enter the basics of Sanskritam, which is little bit of Vyakarana, which is like one course we have, in one course of 55 hours, we have covered the entire thing, which is high school grammar or something. Like that we can have. And then most important is Gita is a case study book of Vedanta. It is not a Prakarana text. So it will not tell you what is Jiva, what is Paramatma, what is Jivatma. It will talk at a case study level. It is like a Harvard case study. It will talk at a case study level. It will say this is how it works, Prakriti, Pratyaya, Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetra, Kshetrajna. It is more at a applied level, applied text. So when it is an applied text, you need to know the basics, for which you need to know the Vedanta basics. Then you come to the Gita structured Adhyana, where you say, I will learn the word to word meaning, and then I will write some exams if possible. Samskrita Bharati have got a 4-level exams there. Bharati Vidya Bhavan have got a 4-level exams. We have some courses in Vyoma where words to words meaning have been told, and we give a certificate and I conduct an exam and do that. Many of our students have taken that. So these kind of Gita Adhyana also has can be done, and then the Vinyoga, the applied part of it, Gita in management, all these things, workplace, and finally implementing Gita in our life, really becoming Sukhadukke Samekrutva, all those things. It's easy to preach Gita, to follow Gita, it's not so easy. So that is the final destination we are looking at. So like this, we can have this. So for all these things, we have for Moolam Sanskritam Arthanusandhanam, we have these kind of chanting classes, Avarthan, repeat. There is a tool. Then we have grammar courses. That's what exams of private organizations are that we spoke. Then we have exams verse by verse. All these things we already spoke. So this is about Gita. So what is Vyoma doing? So enough of all this theory. I want to hear from you. So Vyoma, what is doing is it is becoming an aggregator of all these sabhas and the Anupacharika Sikshanam, Aupacharika Sikshanam. Wherever it wants to help all these organizations, it is trying to help and see if we can be a part there. And it is an aggregator of the learning course. And we do only online. We are not doing face-to-face learning. That is because of our limitations and our Shakti. That's what we are trying to do. We are trying to bring more people into the realm of Sanskritam, Samskriti, Samskara. Our vision document says SSS, 3S. So Sanskritam, Samskriti, Samskara, these are inseparable. You can't separate, just like the Darshana word, you can't separate the Samskriti part and the Samskara part out of the Darshana. Most important is persona-based learning. For children, you have to have a different path. So all these learning paths, they are, if you ask the path for Archana Purushottam ji to teach Sanskritam is not the same as path for Ravi ji to teach Vedas or to teach others. So the path for which everybody is going to follow for learning, which means teaching and self-learning, is going to be entirely different. It is like a customized Ayurveda medicine. You can't have a prescription and say RX put this and say this. Actually, the path for uh, Padmasini Garu will be totally different because her objective in life is totally different. And for her, we will not say, you do Vyakarana, do all this Vyakarana, and then only come to listen to all these discourses or something. We cannot say that to her. So her path is totally different. The path for others will be totally different. So it's a totally a customized path which we have to sit and analyze. And if we can ourselves do it, it will be great. But we have to understand the objective of why Sanskritam until where. Our Jagat Guru had clearly said, if you want to just where to stop? This was the question I asked him. Where to stop? Because you have all these shastras, so much of text and so much of learning to do. We will all feel guilty. Why did I not start this at an young age? At the end of this session, all of us should not feel guilty. Oh, I should have started at an young age. I should have done this. I should have been in India or whatever guilt you are feeling. That is not the purpose of this session. The purpose of this session is to initiate all of ourselves and see how we can go from the point where we are, how we can go further. That is the purpose. So our Jagadguru clearly said, if you know Ramayana, if you can read Ramayana, and if tears come from your eyes when you are doing Parayanam of Ramayana, that is enough. That much you consider your life to be Sarthaka. After that, it is Sharadamba's Icha or Deva Icha, where if something extra can be done by your because of your samarthya and because of the circumstances. Because we are all living in a very competitive world. We have to be doing working. We have to look at house. We have support systems. We don't have support systems. We cannot. So with managing all this and still doing Sanskritam to our satisfaction, which is Sanskritam is for life and it is not for a living. With that purpose, mostly all of us are here and we are trying our best. So persona based learning, it has to be customized and it has to be. There are many parents who say we want traditional Bharatiya education, we want to go to traditional Gurukulas, so we want to understand the history, we want to understand the mathematics, all these things they are saying. So we have options today. Archana ji will be talking of those options. Then we have at any time anywhere. So our model on in Vyoma is you are anywhere in your home, you need not go to a place online, you can learn. There are disadvantages. All of us know of online learning. To a small child, we cannot give online learning. To some people, we cannot suggest online learning. But with knowing the pros and cons of that, we have to take appropriate steps. The more important thing is we should be engaging and effective as teachers when we are trying to initiate. So for example, we conducted an Ashtadhyayi class. She was attending the class. We did only sutras. It was only memorizing the sutras and trying to learn how the sutra has to be split and chant. Now, what was the interesting part of it? How did I make it engaging and effective? We try to involve the students. That is one thing, which any teacher will obviously do. But we developed a product for that, where we had an audio chanting by one of our scholars recorded in a studio, and we said, please listen to this product also when you are driving and when you are doing. And we try to make it engaging. Same way for children, we have some games which are prepared, and game-based learning is there at the beginning levels, where instead of they getting hooked on to YouTube games and other things where people are afraid, parents are afraid. We have these pen drives where you need not have the internet access, but you can still have a computer and do that. So earlier we were having CDs and all, now CDs nobody is using. So like this, we have products. So Vyoma's offerings include publications, books which complement our course. Many times the some generation who are still used to the books, they say, why don't you give me a book of this course? This course you conducted very well, but we want a book, they say. So then we publish a book and give it to them. We'll see if it is very useful and the demand is there. Based on the resource availability, we do that. So courses, books and products is our offering in that. And we can make it, the more important is it should be comprehensive. So when we are doing the teaching of any grantha or shloka or anything, based on the scope, we don't orient it to we have some orientation depending on the target audience. We will say we'll try to make it more comprehensive and customized to the target audience that we have defined at the time. So deep dive learning, not in all courses, in Chittur Sabha exams, in the Sringeri 4th and 5th exams, in Samskrita Bharati Kovida exams. Some of the exams we do deep dive learning. So this one. I know all of you have some questions. So we want to have some questions, and we can answer some of them, which will be useful for everybody. And also we can have a learning path wherever. So the best way to have a learning path for all of us is you can write an email to us, so we can have Zoom calls one on one, and depending on this, of course, there we are training other people to do these counseling sessions and give the right things. While there are only a few people in Vyoma also who can talk about learning paths. So for Sanskritam, and it will not be Vyoma specific learning path. Be very this one. It will be we do it unbiased. If Sringeri is the right exam for you, we say Sringeri, go to Sringeri exams. If Agastya is the right thing, you go to Agastya. If Anadi is the right thing, go to Anadi. So this is how we suggest, and we will. But you have to understand each organization is going through its own learning curves and other things. Those kind of things we have to understand, and then take a step with a great caution. So because we are giving our time is very precious today. I understood when I came to America, because everybody says time is the most important thing. I will give you whatever dollars you want, but time, uh, I have, it is very limited. How much I can give, and I understand from all perspectives. Same thing is with India also. Time is the most important resource that is there. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Request you to start your questions with your learning paths if you want.
My name is Subramani. I am a parent, Agastya Gurukulam parent. I have a few short questions. I've been buying your products of the Ramayana, and my children learned Ashtadhyayi and all using that. So first question is about a text called Raghuvira Gatyam.
Yes.
Where does it fit in that pyramid that you see? Is it Kavyam or
It is a stotra sahitya. It can be treated as a kavya, it is a grantha. If you are doing, see, that's a very good question. If you are doing only the, if you are doing only the chanting, it is in Bhashadhyaya. If you are learning only the chanting, it is a Gadya Kavyam. It's a Gadya Kavyam written by Vedanta Deshika. So if you are doing only the chanting, it comes under Bhashadhyaya. If you are doing the meaning and the Vyakhyanas, it comes in Granthandhyaya. So a same text like Bhagavad Gita, it can fall in three layers. Because Shankara Bhashyan, if you are reading, it will be in the third layer.
yeah. So since Vyoma, your audio I use for the Ucharanam, like I could not find any repeat studio recording version of Amarakosha. I found for Ashtadhyayi.
Yeah.
And for
Why we didn't do that? See, one of the important things in this ecosystem is we don't repeat what other organizations are doing. We are trying to do that. Samskrita Bharati has already done an Amarakosha audio version, which is available free in the YouTube. Somebody earlier it was a paid thing. It is already available in YouTube. Rajgopala Ganapati, Vidwan Mahamopadhyaya, Veda Brahmashri, Rajgopala Ganapati has chanted that. So it is already available in YouTube. We have to search it. Maybe in archive they have put or somewhere somebody has put and removed or something. Definitely it is there with Sanskrit Bharati, which is why we have not done it. But some people have asked, okay, that is only single chanting. Why don't you do the repeat chanting and give us? We have started with a studio recording. We are yet to complete it, but we will give based on the resources. But something which is available, we tell, why don't you use, which is already available with some other organization.
yeah, I've seen your YouTube instructional explaining that video I've seen, but we were looking for more studio recording quality.
Studio recording quality, Samskrita Bharati's, it's an Amarakosha by Rajgopala Ganapati is there. It is there.
So, last question is that Gurukula, short-term Gurukula, somewhere I saw. So, is there any option for like taking a break any time in the year, either US or India or wherever in the world?
We have an India batch and a US batch for children. That Gurukula is only for children, and that is only 1 hour per day, and we have specific subjects. We don't have many subjects like mathematics, history, and all. We don't have. We have only basic Sanskritam, shlokas, bhajans, namavalis, bhajans, and we have what is that? Why we do what we do, and activities.
So is it like some, like they need to have done the
No,
beginning course or any?
no, there is no
any drop?
prerequisite. There is no prerequisite for that. You should be 6 years or 7 years to start because they should sit in front of the computer. Ours is everything is online. They should be able to sit in front of the computer to do it. We don't have a face-to-face version of that thing. Thank you. At this stage, I think Archana Ji can tell about Agastya's offerings, especially in Houston, being in Houston, and they have a center here. I think she is the right person to tell with a visionary lead. She's a visionary leader.
It was going to be all about pathways to Sanskritam with them, but I'll just very briefly, because some of you may not be aware of what Agastya provides, and sometimes people are not quite clear what we are. So let me explain. So Agastya originally started as all online during the pandemic, and so we are a Sanskrit and Bharatiya knowledge systems based school. So we provide teaching from kindergarten to 8th grade level, all based on Indian knowledge systems where possible, and bringing in the rest from the modern curriculum. So that is what it's a full regular school. We started it on, as I said, online during the pandemic, but we now have physical campus in Houston, and where the school it's a regular school day, 8:30 to 3:15. We have school, children they learn 3 languages in others, at least 3 languages: English, Sanskritam. Sanskritam, we emphasize Sanskritam for a lot of things, so Sanskritam for sure. And then they also learn one more Indian language. So it's a 3 language formula that they all have to learn. And some of it, I see 4 of our students here, so they go to school with us. And we do Ganitam, we use a lot of, we teach mathematics, regular modern mathematics, but we also have supplementation with Bhaskaracharya, Leelavati based, Shulva Sutra based, whichever Shastras are relevant to a particular topic. So if there's a shloka related to addition or subtraction, we teach them that. So that it's an enrichment with the Indian knowledge systems curriculum. Itihasa, Bhugola, these are, we try to provide a more decolonized view of Itihasa. As you all may have heard, the history that is commonly taught in India is a very, very a colonized view of things. It's a very distorted view of what really happened. So we try to bring in more of the Bharatiya perspective on this in what we teach them. Other than that, we emphasize a lot of Bharatiya culture. So, for example, we provide hot sattvic lunch every day to the students. Children sit on the ground, they eat with their hands. So these are all required because to get familiar, to be comfortable and be very familiar with how Bharatiya Samskriti does these things. So we celebrate many festivals, Duklashtami, Ramanavami, Ganesh Chaturthi, all these we have celebrations at school. So it's a very Indian school here, but they don't miss out on any of the normal curriculum that they would learn in other schools. We are enriching it with our own also.
They apply for the examination.
Yes, I just want to add. So from 8:30 to 3:15, we have a regular full day school program. We also have children who go to other schools but come to us for an after school program. The after school is mainly Sanskritam, little bit of the enrichment of the Ganitam and Itihasa. So just a little of that, but a lot of Sanskritam. So that program is from 3:30 to 6.
Do you have a residential or only?
At this time, we don't have a residential. It's only a day school here as well as in India.
Okay, India also you have a branch.
In Bangalore, yes, we have a physical location in Bangalore, Jayanagar.
Okay. Oh, that is the parent institution. From there it is the branch.
No, this is it started here.
Here and then they
Oh, Good, very
It
good.
started here, but there was so much interest in India that we eventually opened it in India too.
Real, I can say a real credit achievement. You can give.
Thank you.
Because you have inspired us back, like ISKCON. They inspired America first, and from there it is
Yes.
exported. No? That's very good. And you send them to the regular examinations also. Do they qualify American
Yeah.
examination?
They qualify for all regular exams, absolutely. So we are it's only a year old. We are working on getting the accreditation, the official accreditation,
Yes.
and then they will be part of the state. They have statewide testing and all that. So those are like what they call STAR and Iowa.
So you are on par with the regular education academic system.
Yes.
With that, you are able to do so much.
Yes, it is rigorous. It is a rigorous school
Yes.
because they are learning so much extra. But yes, we are
But
able to.
extra is done after 3:30, is it?
No, for our students, it is all done in school.
Oh,
After 3:30 is for students of other schools who just want to learn Sanskritam. But during the day, it is all done.
along with this, even the three languages,
Yes,
everything,
everything is
done
done.
along with that.
Yes,
Okay, that is something very great.
thank you.
Yes.
What is the address of the school?
So currently, Agastya Gurukulam this past year was located in the BPSS premises.
Oh, okay.
You are familiar with Stafford.
West Bedford.
Yes, West Belfort. Yes,
Murphy Road.
Okay.
that's right. So that's where it was
That
located.
is in Richmond.
No, it's in Stafford. That's actually southwest Houston, bordering Stafford. So please, a lot of people don't know because they think if it's Agastya Gurukulam, they think we are training children to be priests. We are not. Absolutely not. That is open to them. Being a priest is, if they are interested, it's absolutely open to them. But if they want to be something else, anything they want to be open to them. So that is our goal.
This
Up to
after,
8th class.
Right now we are only up to 8.
this after school program is every day, or they can select few days and they can,
Yeah,
depending on their schedule.
on different days we would have, so in addition to Sanskritam, we will be introducing some music, dance, other things too. So depending on their interest, they can choose the days.
Oh, okay.
So it would be twice a week. It would be.
You give them lunch also
For our regular school children, yes.
every day.
Yes, because we want them all to learn to eat as a community, share the food. This is part of Gurukulam.
Making them sit on the floor.
They sit on the
and
floor
eat with
or-
their hands.
Yes, eat only with the hands, no spoons are given.
Lunch is
In
sent from
India
here.
itself, they are carrying the spoon.
No, it's
India is totally different.
and
Now you are back to India. India is
we even give our those of our children who are Vatus in the lunch break, they do their Madhyanikam and then they will eat. So that is routine for us.
excellent. Who is the founder of this?
I'm one of them. There are 3 of us.
This Corona pandemic has created this.
Corona actually, we were incubating this idea, but Corona was, I should say it was a godsend, but for some things, Corona actually helped some things
Yes.
grow. And we
A
were one
lot of people learn a lot
Yes,
of new things.
yes, that
Yes.
is.
Although it was unfortunate, this was one of the.
Because sometimes it helped me. In Corona only I started learning after so many years. That helped me. Otherwise I could not have learned. I learned means I'm just able to read.
Yes.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. So she is a student of our Gurukulam after school studies. So there is a US batch separately which we conduct. So she's learning there. She's entering the second year now, I think. So first year she has completed just now. We had a series of tests and exams. In just to add to Archanaji's thing, in our office also we sit on the floor. We sit on the floor. I think Padmashri Garu has seen it. Sit on the floor and eat. Again with hands. So we are trying to bring this in our office also. So because no corporate office does not have this sitting on the floor and eating. Next, any other questions on learning paths or anything that we want to ask.
So for somebody that wants to learn online, I just downloaded your app. I noticed you had an app.
Yes.
I downloaded your app. So is the learning medium through the app or is it?
So, okay, that's a good question. We have just now released the beta version of the app. It is an Android app under this one. It is called Progressive Web App. So all the content will be accessible through that app. This app is free. The courses are free, but we can go there and choose our courses and log in and start learning on the go. This is for people in America and other people who want to learn on the go. Sometimes you want to listen to Soundar Lahari when you are going in a metro train. So if you have already registered, quickly you can take that file and start listening, practicing that shloka, utilizing that shloka, meanings, etc. So for that purpose, we release that app. Yes, so your
It
question
is for both content and
and,
attending.
and attending. So
You can use it for.
content and attending. The content can be accessed through that, thanks to the technology.
Yeah, one question I have is, for example, you talk about chanting, shlokas,
Yes.
you can chant, you can listen. So how does it help you probably understand that other aspects of it, for example, speaking?
I will give this.
He is an expert for dance.
Right. So when we speak, we need vocabulary for it, Shabda Sampatti. So that is where in the afternoon we were discussing. There are people who have done Mula Parayanam of Sundarakandam, let's say 20, 25 times, and they are able to speak in Sanskrit now. We have two children here who have actually done that. They have not gone to any Sanskrit speaking shibiram. They have not written any exams today on Sanskrit, but they can speak Sanskrit beautifully. Only through so only through chanting shlokas and experiencing granthas like Ramayana. So that is where chanting, while it has other benefits, you can also improve or enhance your speaking skills by chanting shlokas and reading. Both ways are possible.
And just a follow-up question, is there a difference between the Sanskrit that's used in all these granthas versus the simplified Sanskrit that's used on a day-to-day basis?
Right. So from a Vedic Sanskrit, absolutely different. You have a lot of differences in the grammatical part of it. In the classical Sanskrit, from where Ramayana starts, there is no difference in the Sanskrit usage as such. The Sanskrit in Ramayana is absolutely understandable, speakable today in the way it is as it is. But when you use the word simplified Sanskrit, it is just that there are certain techniques of usage, something like a kridanta. Patitavan, when you take, Saha patitavan, aham patitavan, tvam patitavan, you can use it that way. It is only simplified, but there is no change. You can understand that Sanskrit easily, and reading that Sanskrit will better your spoken Sanskrit. Hope I answered your question clearly.
So, for example, there is something called
Sarada Manaka Sanskritam, which has been established in India. Sarada Manaka Sanskritam is a common standard of the language without diluting the essence of it. So that is what everybody is following, Samskrita Bharati or whatever, the entire world when they speak. They don't dilute the essence of the language when they speak. I think that answers your question. Thank you, sir, for that question. It's a very important question.
I have one more question. Do you, so most of the Sanskritam-based groups like this sessions, right, they're mostly targeted to people who probably may not need why Sanskritam is.
Correct.
It's like all devotees of Sringeri will definitely don't need to know the value of learning Sanskrit. So, is there any, do you know of any organization that say maybe like, say for example, demonstrate Ashtabdhan? Like for example, in my friend circle, in my office friends, they would not even know what to appreciate when they see an Ashtabdhan. And I try my best to explain what it is, like multitasking, 8 questions from different subject matter experts, something like that. But it's not the full. So, do you know of any Any
So-
events like that can.
Ashtavadhanam is a kala. It depends purely on the avadhani. So let us, if you can elaborate on that question. Ashtavadhanam is a pandit or a scholar who can compose poems on the go based on anything that is asked. So you have 8 people asking him questions, and he remembers everybody, and within a certain time limit, he answers all the questions of those 8 questions. 8 people who they are also 8 scholars, and he is an avadhani who has a because he's composing on the go, he'll keep on doing that exercise. It's probably one avadhanam in Telugu or in Kannada or in one round of avadhanam will take 3 to 3.5 hours, 4 hours. If it is very complex and great scholars are involved, it may be more also. So that avadhanam, if we have an avadhani and if we have the prachakas, any organization can display it. So Samskriti Bharati
The
has
question
done
is on understanding, making it understand. So we can actually have a course for that.
how
That's a
to
good
con-
suggestion. How to understand an avadhanam, how it is done.
Like someone who doesn't know Mama Nama also, like that kind of a person, like they know, oh, we invented zero here. Beyond that, how do we take the Avghan and say this is something? Do you know how much effort and how much intellect it's needed for?
We can have a course on that. We can always.
We can have a course on that. Chinmaya Mission have had an avadana recently. I think it's there on the YouTube. So wherein there was one scholar who was explaining that process for about 50 minutes. But we can have a detailed course on that. We should have an avadani himself do that course.
It wasn't a post. I was just like go with the roadshow of an Afghan and then more people will be interested. Like Dhanapati is how they
Right,
demonstrate.
she wants to answer. You want to
So
answer?
I have a follow-up to that, but before that, I just want to say, if anybody wants to donate to, Vyoma Lab's work, we are having an envelope here. Some people came late, so I'm just letting you know. Others already did. So coming back for Avadhanam, is there any place where, for instance, if we want our children to learn, other set children to learn Avadhanam, does anyone train? Is this something that's trainable?
It requires a learning
Venkati,
path and
Venkati, you want to answer this question?
There are a lot of
Our-
Avadhanams on the web, actually, Telugu and Telugu speaking person. There are innumerable things. All that you have to do is watch few of them. They usually last 3 to 4 hours. And you watch them, you watch 2 or 3 of them, then you learn to get into it. Like same thing like classical music. First time you hear, you don't know about it. You keep on listening to that, then you get into the depth of it, and then you get interested in that.
So thank you. So I think, yeah, so there are multiple options for looking at avadhanas that have already happened or happening. So I think your question was to know the greatness of it and also get a training in the avadhanam. So-
Actually,
or explore.
that is for this audience. I mean, like, how do I take an outsider audience, like a fence sitter kind of person, like who has no exposure to Bharatiya Shastras?
Avadhanam is like
They
any
know
other color.
that our we were once great, but today all this is gone.
Yeah, I understand.
There are many people like that. How do we, like, for example, what I do is I show them Ganapatham, I give that number, like 1, 2, 3, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I take a very simple mantra and show like Chalakere Brothers or some audio. And they were like, wow, this is like encoding,
Exactly, this all the IKs.
that kind of a thing to
Yeah.
attract more people to Sanskritam.
That goes up to example, but there are like Venkat Bodhaya mentioned, there are Chatushashti Kalas. Each one has that kind of specialty that is there deep in the villages. You don't even know. There are so many skills like that. At least these two are coming out because of the digital technology, media and all.
Just a curated commentary on what is going on. And this is what.
So we can organize a learning path for Avadhanam itself. As Archana Bhagini also told in this one. That is for Archana Bhagini's answer. We can organize that. And we can also have the basics of this and how to tell the importance. We can have videos on that.
There is an Avadhana Vidya Parishad that is in Hyderabad, so that teaches how to do Avadhana. So in fact, they conducted 3 batches. So now they're having, as we speak, there's one batch that is going on. Madugala Nagapati Sharma Garu and Gari Kopatigar has come. So it is led by Dattatreya, Maramamala Dattatreya Shiva. Darshanam, if you have heard the name Darshanam channel. So his brother, elder brother, is coincidentally my relative. So if anyone needs any information about it, I can help them. So yes, Telugu and Sanskritam. So they have actually produced 3 avatanis, very young avatanis through that program.
Apart from that, there's the learning path also.
Yeah,
Both way will.
Yeah.
Any questions? We are just conscious of time, please, but we have all the time to discuss and answer.
So, someone, and you don't know much Sanskrit, but the process would be to read and chant that. And you start from that, right? Is that right? And you have online resources for that.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And so you start from that, and then you go to this Vyakara, it's grammar, as you, okay. And that's all online.
We can share the links also.
On the, could you mention, do you have any more audio e-book? I forgot what it. You have a digital library where you can buy the Ramayana, any new editions, new courses that you can buy as a full complete package.
So our 3 things are there. We have the app which is there. And within that, you have a digital sanskritguru.com which has all the audios which are there. You have taken
I purchased that one.
full this. So those are the ones which are there. Apart from that, all the courses itself when we do, the last class we do a cumulative like the Raghuvira Gadyam of Brinda which you said. New audio, studio audio recordings are not.
Yeah, we have books and I think he's asking for studio audio recording, if that is your question.
I can.
We will discuss. I think Shanna can spend some time. Any other questions? Yes.
How do you enroll into Vyoma?
Vyoma. Very good question.
Represent.
www.sanskritfromhome.org website. App link போலாம். You can go through the app through the website. App நான் இப்பே download பண்ணி கொடுத்துறேன். I will download it for you and create. Okay. You can download. You have both iPhone and Android app is there. You just have to register inside that as a user with an email ID. Then you get everything. It's all free. You can just use it. Both are available. We'll also have probably this card. It has the details below. You can just scan this QR code. It will take you to that. Clear? So there are 3 options here actually. Download the app, subscribe to the website, subscribe to the channel, register to the website. All 3 links are there. You can just have a look at it. All are free links actually. Yes.
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to make a comment that during COVID, as somebody was mentioning, I stumbled upon the Narayana class and you introduced that. So I benefited, and then recently I did a English class for Raghuvira, and I have no knowledge of some school for Sangeet. And at least the Alakanda, the 21 slokas of Raghuvira Gadyam, I was able to chant after the Sundarkand Parayana at one of our friends' home. I'm eternally grateful to what you are doing, and only my request is that if there is any way we can make this more exposed to the other people, would be wonderful, because what you're doing, the words cannot describe. Just
Thank you, sir.
eternally owing to you. Thank you.
Yes.
And it was free, it was very easy to
I endorse
register.
whatever he said, because even I was benefited to the maximum, I can say.
Absolutely.
Whatever you want, you can open. Bhagavatam is there, Narayanam is there. For us, no. It is a blessing, greatest blessing, I can say. So, and another thing, they have not put any charge. There is no
Absolutely,
fees.
it's free, it's
There
very
is
easy.
no tuition fees. I felt that you are indebted more to pay them. When there is no fixed money, I feel that you should contribute to your capacity to the. Hear what he
Just wonderful, everybody's in shape. I want to thank Vishwanathan ji and Venkat Subramanian ji for coming today. And as I mentioned at the beginning, we are in the presence of revolutionaries. In 1947, perhaps maybe some of us were able to witness what happened in Bharat at that time. I know I wasn't there. But today,
We are witnessing another revolution in front of our eyes, and we are in the presence of revolutionaries here in Houston that are working actively towards creating Vikshita Bharatam, Vishwaguru Bharatam.
Yes.
And so, thank you so much. I request Dr. Archana Purushottamji
Vishwaguru Bharatam is Vakha.
to please say a few words and please.
Thank you all for joining us. But thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful exposition of how we can go about learning Sanskritam, with, at whatever level we are and with all the various pathways. I've never seen it dissected like this, so, with such clarity. So thank you very much. We are blessed. Please keep coming and enlighten
Madam,
us.
one word about Professor Venkatesh.
Yes.
He was my student, but he's a rank student. He came by his own merit. I still remember him in the college, PUC level. Such a obedient student. He brilliant science. Okay, he could have, and then he joined engineering on by his own merit. He could have been today minting money millions in US. Everything he left and came and started just raw from the base. He started the institution of Sanskrit only for the love of Sanskrit. And his brother also joined them. They could have been one of the millionaires in US. They may not be sponsored. They will be sponsoring everybody. Leaving everything, I am seeing with my own eyes. I used to even feel. Then I have I worked for 33 years. Even today, I am getting my pension so much. He will be somewhere else. But both of them left their this thing and started this without putting any fees or anything. So it is the responsibility of every Bharatiya, those who have some inclination towards our tradition, to make it more successful, reach everybody. And there should be next generation to take it up, to bring it to the topmost. That's what my this thing.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It has been truly inspirational to meet and to learn about what they do. I knew about Vyoma Labs, but to learn more in detail about it, I'm just really, really humbled. So thank you so much. And request Srinathji to add one token of thank you from all of us. Thank you to everyone who helped organize this. Srinathji, Sringeri Vidya Bharati Foundation, and everybody for joining us.
Thank you all so much. Those of you all have to excuse yourself, please carry on. I believe that they'll be here for any questions. If you have any more questions that you'd like to ask personally. Um,
We would also like to take session from students. I've been wanting to meet many of you for a long time.
So, if people want to stay back and okay, some of our kids are they recently learned to do Harikatha in Sanskritam. So they will just give a very short demonstration, but feel free if you have to leave. It's just something that we wanted to show our guests that they are learning Sanskritam and doing this.
सिद्धिविनायकमूर्ति की जय हर हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव जय सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय बलि देव शरणाकांत स्मरणं हर हर सुब्रह्मण्यो जय प्रिय गुरुकाय हरो हरा समस्त देवता मूर्ति की जय। वीर धीर शूर आंजनेय मूर्ति की जय। धिमिकिट पादमृदंग धिमिकिट पादमृदंग ब्रह्मा ताळकरी गजानन ब्रह्मा ताळकरी गजानन तांडव नृत्य करी शनिलये श्वासिनये ईश्वर षण्मुख षण्मगन दर्शनाय आगतोऽहं षण्मुख श्रद्धया आगतोऽहं ओंकार षण्मुख साक्षात् दर्शनेन मम षण्मुख वेल वेल मुरुगा जय वेल मुरुगा वेल 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 मुरुगा वेल वेल मुरुगा जय वेल मुरुगा वेल 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 मुरुगा बलिगिरे ईश्वर है बालक है षण्मुख बालक है षण्मुख भाषया भजामहे गोविन्द षण्मुख व्यासवल्ली नायक है भूमिनाथ षण्मुख हेनते स्तुतितं कर्तुं ज्ञानदाता षण्मुख वेल वेल मुरुगा जय वेल मुरुगा वेल 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 मुरुगा आदौ कीर्तनारम्भात् षष्ठेषु विराजमानः सन् अनुग्रहं दत्तवतः श्री सुब्रह्मण्य स्वामिनः पादकमलयोः शरणमेव जीवने भ्रमताम् अस्माकं सर्वेषां परमं साधनम् इति ज्ञायते। एकदा काश्यपमहर्षेः अदितिदेव्याः च पुत्ररूपेण महाविष्णुः त्रिविक्रमनाम्ना अवतारम् अकरोत्। सः एव इन्द्रस्य सहोदरः उपेन्द्रः इति सर्वैः कीर्तितः। एकवारं परमशिवः आनन्दनटनं कुर्वन् आसीत्। तातैति नृत्यति सः तत्तित्यैति नृत्यति तातेति नृत्यति तित्यैति नृत्यति झमरगट्टे इति नृत्यति सः धीमदगट्टे इति नृत्यति धीमदगट्टे इति नृत्यति सः झमरगट्टे इति नृत्यति 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 सः नृत्यति। तस्य नटनस्य बहु आस्वादनं कुर्वन् महाविष्णुः अत्यन्तम् आनन्दितः। ततः तस्य नेत्रयोः अश्रूणि आगते। ते द्वे अश्रूणि अमृतवल्ली सुन्दरवल्ली इति द्वे तरुण्यो अभवताम्। तयोः अमृतवल्ली पुत्रीरूपेण पालयितुं देवेन्द्रः इष्टवान्, परन्तु पुत्रीं पालयितुं तस्य समयः नासीत्। इदानीन्तनकाले अस्माकं पितरौ बहु व्यस्तौ स्तः किल। इदानीमेव एवं चेत् पुरातनकाले वक्तव्यं वा? इन्द्रः बहु बिज़ी इति विषये आश्चर्यमेव नास्ति। अतः ऐरावतः एव अमृतवल्याः पालनं करोति स्म। गजेन पालिता इति कारणतः देवसेना इति अमृतवल्ली प्रसिद्धा जाता। तमिळ्भाषायां दैवयानै इति तस्याः नाम। कुमारं परिणेतुम् अमृतवल्ली सुन्दरवल्ली च एकवर्षं नास्ति, वर्षद्वयं नास्ति, 800 वर्षाणि यावत् कठोरं तपः मुरुगस्य चिन्तनं कुरु मुरुगस्य चिन्तनं कुरु अनुदिनं मुरुगस्य चिन्तनं कुरु अन्नाहारं विना सदैव चिन्तनम् अन्नाहारं विना मुरुगस्य चिन्तनं कुरु। तस्मिन् काले कुमारस्वामी इति प्रणवाकारेण अवस्थितः आसीत्। सः ते अवदत् पार्वती पुत्रस्य देवसेनां वध्यार्थं सुब्रह्मण्यः भूत्वा अन्यदा अवतारं करोमि तदा अहं भवत्यो परिणयामि इति। कालाः अतीताः असुराणां संहारं कृत्वा यन्ति पुरमिति प्रसिद्धे ते पूजां कुर्वन् वासं कृतवान् सुब्रह्मण्यः। तस्मिन् स्थाने इदानीमपि पूजापुष्पैः सह विद्यमानस्य सुब्रह्मण्यस्य दर्शनं वयं प्राप्तुं शक्नुमः। लीलायाः आरम्भो भवेत् किल इत्यस्मात् नारदः सुब्रह्मण्यं द्रष्टुं प्रस्थितः। किं स्वामी देवसेनां परिणयामि इति वाग्दत्तवान् किल आगच्छतु तं द्रष्टुं गच्छामः। तदानीमेव मुनिः तं विषयं देवेन्द्रः खिन्नः आसीत्। मम पुत्री देवसेना सुब्रह्मण्यमेव परिणयति इति दृढतया जीवन्ती अस्ति। मुरुगेण अङ्गीकरणीयं किल इति तस्य दुःखम्। परन्तु झटिति मुरुगस्य विवाहार्थं संहितं दत्तवान्। आनन्दमानन्दं वै परमानन्दमानन्दमानन्दं वै देवसेना कल्याणम् आनन्दं वै आनन्दमानन्दमानन्दं वै आनन्दमानन्दमानन्दं वै आगतानां दृष्टवताम् आनन्दम् देवसेना कल्याणम् आनन्दम् आनन्दमानन्दमानन्दं वै परमानन्दमानन्दमानन्दं वै।
केन रचितम् अनुदितं केन अनुदितं
Very good.
Hey,